In my role, I, of course, with the policy advising, get to advise the mayor about all of the diversity and human rights issues within the city and even outside of the city. I work closely with our community empowerment team, which consists of the community liaisons, as well as our refugee community liaison, Fatima Deary, and I'll start working closely with Angela Doan on education and just seeing our whole city as, how do we see this from an equity lens? I come from a background of community development and empowerment, working with communities. I myself I'm from the Glendale, Poplar Grove neighborhood. And so what I want to bring to that is just be the boots on the ground. I think that making sure that we meet with folks where they're at, instead of always asking people to come into City Hall, how does that look like for us to be out in the neighborhood, making sure that people have services, or what are the real needs, and asking those types of questions, as well as not reinventing the wheel, but making sure that we're at all these events and listening to people. And then bringing all of those things from the ground and see how do we inform policy in that direction. So making sure that we listen to people, we hear what they're saying, and bring it back here to City Hall and see what does that look like on in an administrative level as well as a policy-making level. I think what attracted me to this position was a huge part was my daughter. So I was born in the neighborhood, and then when I started my family, I came back and started my family again, just right off of the street that I was born on. And I often am very thankful for those that have come before me. But then for the first time in my life, it wasn't just the kids that I grew up with and their children and figuring out how to help their future. Now this was actually my kid and seeing what types of schools she was going to attend, how she was going to grow up in Salt Lake City. And I think that the biggest part when this job opening happened and I was grappling with whether to apply or not, or it was okay to stay safe and be in the position that I was in, was that I looked at my kid and thought, what kind of Salt Lake City do I want for a Tongan girl growing up in Glendale? And I wanted to be a part of that discussion, not just on a grassroots level, but on a policy level. How can I help craft a better world for her?